What is up, you guys? Hold on, let me fix the lighting a little bit. Is it this one? Okay, there. How's everyone doing? I feel like I need to get a water first before I start talking. Oh my God, crazy day today, crazy day. Today is Memorial Day, by the way. For me. For you, it's, I don't know. I don't know when I'll upload this. Oh my gosh, where's the freaking water? There it is. Yes, I keep water in my car. Don't judge me. I know it's hot and I shouldn't be drinking it, but hey, we're all gonna freaking die one day, so there we go. I need to like figure out. My skin looks oily, but that's just normal for me. Rain or fucking shine, I'm always oily. Okay, so I have a little freaking story for you guys. So oh my God, I don't even know where to start. It was such a fucking weird something that happened to me. So I frequently have to get my oil changed because I clean houses and I go and I drive all over Atlanta, you know, all over Georgia pretty much. And recently, like within the year, I've been going to Pep Boys to do my oil change just so I can have like, you know, like an update on when I do my oil change and all that stuff. I used to take it to this mechanic that like didn't do all that, like didn't put, I mean, sometimes they would remember to put the sticker and sometimes they just didn't. And then like they didn't keep up, like they don't have like a system like Pep Boy does. So I've been going to this location for roughly not a year. I want to say since September of last year. So 6 months, I want to say. So one of the managers that works there, every time I fucking go, he's there. He just so happens to be working there. I don't know if he is the manager or he's one of the managers, but I think he is. I'm not really sure. So I noticed that he would start flirting with me literally the second I started going there, because I started going there around my birthday, and he instantly was like, hey, like, what are you doing this weekend? And that day was my birthday. So I was like, oh, we're just going to this place called Lips, which is a drag place, right? And I just instantly saw that he was into me. Now, I am not into him. He is not my type. I dated someone like him before. I married someone like him. Not like physically, but like mentally someone like him. Does that make sense? So so when I got married to someone who was not into any of the music that I'm into. He listened to only straight up Mexican music. And as a good girlfriend, as a good wife, I would go to these shows with him, right? Even though I was not into them. He never once went to any of the concerts I wanted to. And I missed a lot of concerts because I was scared to go alone. And I did a lot of things on my own. As in, like, if a friend had a party, I was there by myself. To the point where people who had never met me before thought I was really single because my husband at the time was not there with me. So I don't want to date or get into a relationship with someone who is not into at least some of the stuff that I'm into. Because I was already in a relationship with someone who was not into any of that shit. So every time I've been going to Pet Boys, he like does something. As in like he'll flirt a little bit. So last time I was there, he did say that he liked me. And I thought it was a joke. Because I have this thing. It's my own trauma. That like I don't find myself attractive. I Like, when a guy compliments me, I find it odd. Like, it's not, for me, it's just weird, and I don't see what they see, if that makes sense. And I know I shouldn't think that way, but it's just the way I think. It's just the way it is. So, anyways, this time around, he literally, the second I walked in, he like was right away like, hey, how are you? You know, just being a regular, you know, professional salesperson. And so I check in because I had to like wait a little bit. They were like dealing with somebody who was, I guess, they had done some type of works at another Pep Boys and he was trying to fix it there. I don't know. So I am, you know, I go up there and I'm like, hey, I'm just here for my oil change. And I also wanted them to see my brakes to make sure like they're good or whatever. And he's like, yeah, I got you. So he like tells the regular guy who usually, thankfully at this Pep Boys, like the guy who has always done my oil change is always there. So it's the same guy. And so he tells him and he gets my car right away. And I'm like, hey, I'm going to go next door to Waffle House. And just, you know, I then started talking to a friend, which, y'all, that's all. This guy, I was talking to this guy. We've known each other for a minute and everything. And like, he wants me to hook up with him. And it's like, I'm kind of debating here and there. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to go see you today. Yeah. I'll go into that a little bit. But, so I'm eating my chocolate chip waffle at Waffle House. And that's all I ordered. I wasn't really like craving anything too greasy or anything. So I then come back. And another guy who's always there all the time at the front desk, he noticed that every time I go, I bring a book just because they sometimes are quick, sometimes are, you know, they take forever. So, he leaves and he's like, hey, what book are you reading? I was reading Eat, Love, Pray. I told him like it's a movie and he was like, what? It's a movie? I was like, yeah, it's a movie. Like, it was a book and then it was a movie, and you know, I'm reading the book because I never read the book. So I'm there reading, minding my own business, and the guy who has a thing for me, I think the other guy also has a thing for me because he's always like looking at me, and they're always just looking at me. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, y'all should be working. Focus at work. So the other guy comes in, the guy who always flirts with me, and he's like, come over so I can like check you in or whatever. I'm like, okay. And he noticed my nails. I recently got them done. They're purple. They're like a dark, like far away they look black, but it's close up they're purple, and they have a little teeny tiny sparkle, but like barely there. So he noticed my nails right away, and he's like, oh, your nails are pretty. And I'm like, oh, thanks. And then he's like, are your toes the same color? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. And he goes like, can I see? And I'm like, what? And I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, if would you let me see them if I pay you? And this is the most awkwardest conversation I've ever had with anyone. Like, I'm like, I'm not thinking anything of it. I'm like, yeah, sure. But I was like, maybe he has a girlfriend or something, you know? Like, I don't know. I always try to find the innocent in people, which has put me in weird situations. So, I'm like, yeah, sure, you can see my toes. I'm like, I don't really like showing my toes. I mean, I was like, I don't have ugly toes. I'm just not a person who likes to show my toes. So I had Vans on, so I took my, I can't believe I did this. I should have just said no. So I take off my shoe, I had like those like really thin socks, so I take off my socks and he looks at my toes and I'm like, okay. And I mean, I didn't see like he got turned on or anything. I mean, obviously he's behind a desk, so I wouldn't know, you know? So he then tells me that he has a foot fetish. And I was like, oh shit. I should have shown him my feet. So then he's like, hey, do you ever wear flip-flops? And I'm like, oh no, I'm not one of those chicks. And I even told him why. I'll tell you guys why I'm not a flip-flop person. I'm a very clumsy person. I tend to always fall. Thankfully, never, ever, ever, ever have I broken anything. But like, I tend to just... I'm clumsy, okay? Not like crazy clumsy where I'm always falling, but I tend to just always just either like miss a step or, you know, stuff like that. So I heard somewhere, I was following for a minute a foot doctor, and he said if you're one of these people, you should not be wearing flip-flops or any shoes that are actually like protecting your feet, because you're more easily to like break something if you are not protecting your feet. So, you know, I just wear flip-flops like in my home, or like at the beach, you know, or at the pool, you know. But this is when things get weird. So I like go back, you know, he checks me in and all that stuff. And I go back to reading my book, and I'm just, you know, minding my own goddamn business. And towards mid of the oil change, I guess, because my car was still up. I could see my car from the window. And he's like, you know, I told you I liked you last time. And like I said, I thought he was joking. I thought like he was like in a relationship or something. I don't know. You know, I always think that everyone's in a relationship and that I'm just the only single person. So, and I just didn't know what to say because he's not my type at all. Like, people would be like, people thought that my ex-husband was like so not it for me. Like, people were like, when they saw our wedding pictures, they were like, you what? Because we were such an odd couple. And I did change a lot for him. As in, like, I stopped wearing black, which is my favorite color. I started not wearing, like, this was not me. I was a very basic person, which is so not me. But I knew that he felt some type of way of me, like, having my hair a certain way and dressing a certain way. So I changed because I was that in love with him. And I don't want to do that again. Like, I want a dude who's going to take me the way I am. Like, you know, I don't want to ever change for love. So I feel like with him would be the same. Like, my ex-husband wasn't telling me, like, hey, like, don't dress like that. It's just, like, he was just not into girls like this. Like, he didn't like emo, goth girls, whatever you want to call us. And I felt like I changed. And I felt like I also in a way changed for my mom because she doesn't like me dressing this way or doing my hair this way or getting tattoos or getting piercings. She's against all that shit. And I felt like, I was like, you know what? I need to do what everyone else is doing. Getting married, all that stuff. And I was so unhappy. Like, you guys don't even understand how unhappy I was with my life. I knew my ex-husband was cheating and I didn't care. Like, I was numb. Like, when I tell you that my ass was numb, I was completely fucking just numb. I didn't care. Like, I didn't care if he was good. I didn't care if he was bad. I didn't care if he was healthy or not. Like, I just didn't fucking care. And I've never felt that way ever, 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 except for one time in my life, and that's with my dad. And I still feel that same way with my dad. And I always told myself, I hope I never feel that hate towards somebody. And then sadly, my ex-husband became one of those people. But back to the freaking story. I'm sorry. I will talk about my ex-husband like in another video. Like, we're going to go into details of like how I caught him cheating and all that shit, because the drama, y'all. So, okay, so I'm like, I then tell him like, hey, is my car ready? Because I at this point I wanted to leave because he's not my type, and I don't like hurting people's feelings. Like I do certain people, but he's such a nice guy where it's like he's not really giving me a reason to be a bitch to him, you know? Okay, so he's like, oh yeah, your car is ready. Because I noticed that they like brought down my car and like, you know. So I get up and I gather my stuff and I go up and I'm like, hey, I'm like looking for a coupon, because if you guys didn't know, Pep Boys always has coupons. So I'm like, I'm trying to look for a coupon. Tell me which one I should use. And he's like, oh, this is where the conversation takes a completely different turn. Okay. And this is when I realized that my ass is like really fucked up when it comes to dating, because I'm not used to this shit. Okay. So he's like, I'm gonna pay. I'm not gonna charge you. And I'm like, I'm not okay with that. I literally fucking said that. I'm not okay with you paying for my stuff when you're not. You're just a person. You're just a guy who changes my oil, which he's not even the guy that changes my oil. It's a different guy. But, I said, I'm not really comfortable with that. I would like to pay just because it's a service. I own a business myself, and it's not like I give out free services to people that I like, you know? I wish I was that rich. But, he's like, okay, well, I can give you a discount. And I'm like, okay, cool. You know, just like, I'm ready with my coupon, you know? And he's like, oh, it's going to be better than that coupon. And I'm like, okay. And let me tell you, as a woman, I know what free stuff means, okay? It means a number. It means an exchange. It means I need to go over to your place. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean all that stuff, but it's like you're doing something because you want something, you know? So he's like, he drops my price. I usually always pay like 90 something. He dropped it to 60 something dollars. And I'm like, okay, that's good with me, you know? And he's like, is that good enough for you? And I'm like, just say yes, bitch. I was like, yeah, because I didn't want to go back and forth. I was already like in a weird situation. I wanted to get the fuck out of there real fucking quick. Okay, so we, y'all, what the fuck? I can't believe this shit happened to me. So then I tap my card. He gives me a receipt. Well, I pick out the receipt from, you know, the printer is like facing me, so I can like grab my own, you know, receipt. And he's like, oh, I'm going to give you like the hard copy receipt. And I'm like, oh my God, fine. He like wanted me to stay there. And so he prints it out and then he staples it, right? And then he tells me, he gives me it to me like this. And I'm like, okay, bye. And he's like, if there's anything you need. Oh, no, wait. I'm skipping a whole part. Hold on. Hit the brakes. Okay, so as we were talking about the whole, like, the price thing, he retells me, I told you I liked you last time. And I said, hey, I was honest, okay? Well, somewhat honest, not fully honest. I told him how I'm not really ready to date, which is not true. I feel like now, like, I feel like this year is the year for me to, like, be open-minded to start dating again. And, but not, like, fully, like, you know, like, maybe a date or two here, but not, like, full-on, I want a boyfriend. I mean, if he comes around, that would be great. If he doesn't, whatever. Sorry, my nose, the inside of my nose itches really bad. I don't know what's going on. Sometimes, let me just tell you, people who have nose piercings understand. Sometimes, like, your piercing, like, your jewelry, like, makes you want to, you know, move it around and scratch it. I wonder if people think I'm, like, digging my nose when I'm fixing my nose jewelry. I'm not. I'm just fixing my jewelry. But he then says, something to, I say, hey, like, I'm not ready to date. And he tells me, when do you think you'll be ready to date? No person knows the answer to that. Like, I've always gotten that question, and I don't know how to answer. I feel like there's no answer for that. Like, it's just something that one day you wake up and you're like, you know what, I'm kind of ready to date, you know? It's taken me a minute, you know? I'm not a person who bounces. Like, my ex-husband has had, like, I think 1 or 2 girlfriends. I've had 0 relationships since me and my ex-husband have not been together. So I told him, hey, this is the part where I'm honest, okay? I said, hey, I've been separated and divorced for like 4 years. There are too many people that could be like, wow, that's a long time. For me, it feels like this. It feels like nothing. And I said, hey, like, I'm not really ready. I was really hurt in my previous relationship, which I was married, which is the truth. I was really, really hurt, because when I tell you that I got married so in love to the point where I changed everything about me. I mean, like, I had a wedding that no one thought I would have. I had a court wedding, which I don't mind, but like, I got married, wait for it, I got married in cowboy boots for him. I didn't even own cowboy boots. I live in Georgia, but I'm more of like near the city, not the countryside. And like, I went out and bought cowboy boots just to get married to him. And I never want to do that. Like, I want to have, like, if I were to ever get remarried, I would, well, not remarried. If I were to ever get married, there you go. Saying remarried is like me getting married to my ex-husband again, which will never happen. If I were to ever get married, I would like to have like a very gothic wedding, as in like very, you know, till death, or like My Chemical Romance thing, you know, like Helen music video, like very just gothy and like so unique and different. I don't like doing what everyone else is doing. I like doing things differently. But like, I could not vision myself having a wedding like that with him, you know? He seems like a very like basic guy, you know, average, you know, not my type of a guy. I need a guy who at least with some tattoos, and has a little edge, you know, has been through something in life. You know, I don't like people who's never been through shit. Like, you know, I need a dude who has a story, you know? It doesn't have to be a good story. It can be a bad, like, it could be like, I did crazy shit, you know? Because let me tell you, my ex-husband was not a good guy. Like, I then later on in life found out some crazy as fuck shit he did. But we're having, I'm sorry, I keep changing subjects. That's just how I talk. I'm sorry. I am like all over the place. You should be happy you don't live in my brain, because it's all over the place. But anyways, so I told him I didn't know how long it was going to take for me to be ready to date, which is the truth. I can say right now that I feel like I'm ready, and maybe I'm not. Maybe I'll go on a date and I'm like, not for me. And he passes me, like, he's about to pass me my receipt, like my whole like paperwork. I'm like trying to grab it, and he goes like this, and he's like, if you ever need anything, if you ever need money, y'all, I'm not fucking, if you ever need money to get your nails done, if you ever need money to get your hair done, if you ever need money for anything, hit me up. And I said, thank you. I am very flattered, but I'm not interested. I'm a woman who will never ask for money for anyone, like from anyone. I feel like for me, like a guy would have to do that in their own will. Like surprise me. Like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna send you money. Like, you're getting your nails done, I'm gonna send you money. Like, I will never ask. I never asked my ex-husband to pay. I didn't even do my nails when I was married to him, okay? This is just like now something new. Like, I feel like I need to treat myself to feel good. And I love getting my nails done. Like, I do them once a month. And I take my time. I like pick a design, and if I want to be in and out, like I'm not really into getting my nails done that month, I like pick a single color. And I just said, you know, thank you, I'm flattered, but no thank you. And he gave me he's like, okay. And then he's like, he does this, I would treat you so good. Like, I don't need to know that. Like, why are you bragging? How are you gonna treat me? Like, I don't get it. It made me feel so uncomfortable. I just decided to just leave. You know, I was like, okay, bye, see you next time. And he really wanted to get my number, and I'm like, no, you can't have my number. Like, I didn't want to give him my number. And I just left, and I realized, wow, this was the first time a guy like said really nice things to me ever. Okay, I've never had a guy be like, hey, I'll pay for your shit. You know, I've never had that. Like, I never had that, and it felt so weird. And this is when I realized, like, I'm really fucked up in the head, because it shouldn't be weird. This should feel normal for me. But it kind of hit me really hard that like I need more healing. Like, even though I'm ready to date, like I do need more healing when it comes to that, because that should be normal. That should be normal that a dude wants to pay for my things. And yeah, I just felt really fucking weird and odd, and I'm just like, damn, girl, you're really fucked up. Like, I really am. I mean, not really, but in a way I am. But then I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go see this motherfucker. He's been wanting me to go. Sorry, I have like I like this door. This is like down a hill type of, like, it's like this. So like every time I open the door, it like closes. So I like usually hold it with my like arm. But I hit this guy up, and I was like, let's not the pet boy guys, the other guy, the one I've known forever. And I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go see you today. Da, 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 da. I was feeling some type of way, but obviously nothing was gonna happen because I'm a woman and I get to choose that. But I'm like, just let me know when you're home, because I felt bad because he's been feeling very alone. And then I realized that he's just lying because he just wants to get laid. So I'm kind of happy it didn't happen, because I was on my way and he wasn't answering. So it's like, okay, let me call him. He didn't pick up. And so then I'm like, okay. And then he calls me while I am on my way, and he's like, oh, I'm not home. And I'm like, you just told me you were out of work and you were on your way home. So that was a turn off. And that was just like, I got me real pissed. And then it got me really thinking, like, maybe I'm not ready for all this crap. And then I realized I'm not a one night stand either. Like, I just can't do that shit. I don't know how y'all can do it. I can't. I'm more of like, I need a conversation before my legs open for anyone. You know? But yeah, that happened to me. Wild shit, right? Always the weirdest thing happens to me. But yeah. It's been a crazy fucking weekend, because today something happened. I know. Wow. But on happier and great news, Metallica's coming to Atlanta. They're coming next week, I believe. And they just announced they're going to be doing a blood drive, which I'm like, I kind of want to go. It's going to be Friday. I wish it was Saturday though, but it's going to be Friday. from 10 to 4, and I'm like, and they're gonna give out free shirt that's limited edition. So I'm like, I kind of want to get that shirt, you know. So I might go do some blood drawing, which I always wonder, where did they use that blood to? Like, do they really donate it to people? You know, like, that's a deep dive I always wanted to know. Like, where does the blood where does it go? Does it really go to truly help people? Does also blood expire? Like, can they just hold blood for a minute and then like use it whenever like there's a crisis going on in the world? Like, I just have so many questions. I feel like I need to talk to a nurse about that shit. Like, does blood expire once it's drained out of you? Shit that lives in my brain. But that's it. Your girl has a lot of shit to work on. But I'm open to dating. Like, I'm open to talking to more guys. And, like, I don't know. I am so freaking confused with all this shit. I'm just like, I can't believe my ass was married at one point in my life. Like, I think about that. Like, when I tell you that people were shocked that I got married, I mean, I got comments on my post when I got married that were like, you got married? Because I talked about never getting married for such a long time that I was just like, I just don't see it happening for me. And then it happened, and then it was just wild. Like, it was wild. I feel like I need to talk to you guys about my wedding day, how crazy that shit was, and then the aftermath of the wedding, because a lot of other crazy shit happened after the wedding, and then things that happened like within 6 months, because literally a lot of events happened in our 4-year marriage that like people were shocked that I like didn't leave sooner. People were really fucking shocked. And then the bomb just exploded, and I just was like, it's done, it's over. And I remember everyone was like, damn, girl, you got patience, because I would have been fucking left him. But like, you know, I also didn't want to leave the marriage saying like, I didn't try everything, because I did try everything to make our marriage work. It just wasn't going well. So yeah. Peace out. Take care. Sorry for yapping so much, but it is what it is. Take care. Drink your water. I took like 3 sips, bitch. And yeah, I've been thinking about the podcast, by the way. I will tell you guys more about that once it kind of like starts to kind of gather around. I also need to find a place where I can like sit and record with like no sound around me, just because like here where I'm renting at the moment, it's just, I can't record here. It's too much shit going on. So, I've been thinking about doing sex stories in here, just not with lingerie, because there's kids that live here and I don't want them to be like, what? You know, what is she wearing? So I might do like sex stories in my car type of thing, type of vibe. I feel like we need something like in the dark here. Like, maybe I can find like a little like light or something, and I could put like right here or something, and it looks a little kind of like, ooh, you know. Give me ideas. Help me out here. Help your girl out here, because your girl's just, it's one brain, and I have 303 subscribers, so 303 brains work better than one, okay? So y'all give me ideas. What can I mean, obviously it can't be something that I can like connect. It has to be like something wireless or something, so I can like just, you know, press a button, because where am I gonna connect it, you know? So yeah, leave me comments in the comments below. Let's chat. Have your questions. I might do another question and answer type of thing. I get a lot of questions about my hair, my makeup, my wardrobe, my tattoos, my piercings. I might do another like mix and match of everything, because I get questions about all that stuff all the fucking time. Like, all the time. all the time. Like, my number one question is, did this hurt? My Medusa, did it hurt? And it's like my number one question that I get all the fucking time. And how long does it take to heal? But anyways, peace out. Take care. Bye. Take care. See ya next time. Bye.